Have you ever felt more drained than fulfilled after a gathering, wondering why some meetings leave you heavy-hearted instead of joyful? As we age, the quality of our connections plays an incomparably vital role in our happiness and well-being. In today's video, we'll explore the gatherings you should avoid to protect your peace, health, and happiness in your golden years. Stay with us until the end, as we'll dive into the exact types of gatherings that may be doing you more harm than good, and offer practical ways to make choices that truly support a fulfilling, joyful retirement. Let's make every moment count by building connections that lift us. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. The first type of gathering to avoid. As we age, one type of gathering that we should strive to avoid is those that provoke conflicts stemming from envy and jealousy. The complexity of human relationships often intensifies with time, revealing how emotional wounds can deepen as we navigate through life. A poignant example comes from a successful businessman I recently heard about, who made the difficult decision to stop attending his high school reunion after participating for over 3 decades. Initially, he would miss a few gatherings simply due to the demands of his busy schedule. However, this absence eventually transformed into a deliberate choice to withdraw from the group. At first, he perceived that his friends were genuinely welcoming him, especially since his business was thriving. Yet, as time passed, a subtle shift in the atmosphere became apparent. The same friends who once celebrated his successes began to express expectations that felt burdensome, suggesting he pay more dues to the reunion fund or even cover meal costs, citing their financial struggles. One particular friend made a remark that insinuated a wish for his business to fail, which was jarring and disheartening. Such experiences are by no means isolated. They resonate with findings from a survey conducted by the Seoul National University's Institute of Gerontology, which revealed that a staggering 67% of respondents aged 60 and over reported encountering envy and jealousy from friends or acquaintances. These emotions can easily spiral into conflicts, emphasizing the need for us to establish and nurture relationships with greater care and intention. The issue often escalates after retirement. When major life achievements have been reached, individuals may find themselves comparing their lives to those of their peers more frequently. The success of a friend can trigger feelings of relative deprivation, leading to a detrimental cycle of dismissal or gossip about their achievements. For instance, during a recent conversation, I shared a story about my grandchild, only to have the atmosphere shift abruptly to one of discomfort. I later learned that a friend, whose children have yet to marry, felt hurt by my seemingly innocent remarks, which I had not anticipated would affect him negatively. In the aftermath, he told others that I was merely trying to show off, illustrating how easily misunderstandings can arise from such sensitive comparisons. Psychologists refer to this troubling phenomenon as relative deprivation syndrome in old age, where the inclination to compare oneself to others becomes more pronounced with age. The negative emotions that stem from these comparisons can significantly harm our relationships, creating unnecessary rifts and tension. So, what can we do to navigate this minefield? Experts suggest that we should thoughtfully distance ourselves from gatherings that foster feelings of envy and jealousy. This is not merely a selfish choice, but rather a form of consideration and respect for one another's experiences and emotions. Ultimately, what truly matters is cultivating an understanding atmosphere, where we can be mindful of each other's situations and feelings, fostering healthier, more supportive connections as we age. The second type of gathering we must avoid. We must carefully reconsider as we age those centered around alcohol. Recently, a 65-year-old man named Kim Young-woo confided in me about his experience with such gatherings. At first, he found pleasure in attending these events, where he would enjoy a drink or two while socializing. However, as time passed, he realized that these gatherings left him feeling hurt and emotionally drained. Despite having maintained this tradition with former colleagues for over 3 decades, Kim now approaches these events with a sense of fear and apprehension. How did it come to this? On the surface, gatherings that revolve around sharing old memories over drinks may seem warm and inviting. Yet, as we age, these gatherings can often have detrimental effects on our health and relationships. At the last gathering, I shared that I was taking medication for high blood pressure, only to be ridiculed for expressing my inability to drink because of it. Ultimately, the pressure from the group led me to succumb, and I found myself drinking that night, which resulted in a trip to the emergency room. This raises an important question. Where else can we unwind if not over drinks? This concern becomes even more pronounced after retirement, as the absence of morning commutes allows drinking sessions to extend longer than they might have in the past. Conversations that take place during these extended hours often drift toward topics that might not be discussed in more sober circumstances. When alcohol is in the mix, old stories tend to resurface. Who received a promotion, who was responsible for hindering whom, and unfortunately, these discussions often lead to hurt feelings that linger long after the gathering has ended. Although we may feel regret the next day, the cycle continues, and we find ourselves drawn back into the same pattern. Drinking gatherings can leave not just emotional scars, but also significant health risks. As we age, our bodies become less equipped to process alcohol effectively. Our liver function declines, making it more challenging to manage blood pressure and other health concerns. For those of us on medication, the interactions with alcohol can be dangerously life-threatening. Indeed, statistics show that over half of the incidents of excessive drinking among seniors aged 65 and older occur after social gatherings. Despite the dangers, more than 60% of individuals still choose to attend these same gatherings. One might wonder, why not simply refrain from attending? The answer is not so straightforward, as severing long-standing connections can be a painful and complex process. So, what alternatives do we have? Fortunately, there are numerous types of gatherings available that can serve as healthy substitutes for drinking. For instance, gatherings for coffee after morning walks provide a chance to connect over a warm beverage rather than alcohol. There are hiking groups that meet regularly on weekends, or even art classes where participants can enjoy tea while engaging in creative activities together. Initially, there may have been skepticism about whether it was possible to enjoy gatherings without alcohol. However, many have discovered that these alternatives can lead to deeper, more meaningful conversations and allow for a refreshing sense of clarity the next day, free from regrets. Through this shift, we have cultivated a deeper understanding of one another, and now is the time to make a conscious choice. We can build fulfilling relationships without relying on alcohol. Conversations shared with clear minds foster connections that are genuine and enriching, paving the way for healthier social experiences as we continue to grow older. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. The third type of gathering is to avoid, as we age, those that involve energy-draining individuals. Have you ever left a social event only to find yourself feeling suddenly fatigued, heavy-hearted, or emotionally depleted? This sensation may stem from having encountered what are commonly referred to as energy vampires, individuals who inadvertently siphon off your emotional and mental energy. Recently, I spoke with a 68-year-old woman named Lee Eun-young, who shared her experience of grappling with a challenging relationship with a friend she had met at a local senior college. Initially, Lee saw this person as someone who was simply living life with diligence and enthusiasm. However, as time went on, she began to sense a profound depletion of her energy in this friend's presence. According to a study conducted by the Institute of Gerontology at Seoul National University, an alarming 78% of seniors over the age of 65 report experiencing emotional exhaustion about gatherings they regularly attend. It is important to note that this emotional exhaustion can have serious health implications that go well beyond mere fatigue, potentially leading to anxiety, depression, and other health-related issues. Energy-draining individuals often exhibit distinct and recognizable characteristics. First and foremost, they tend to dominate conversations by focusing solely on themselves. They frequently recount stories about their children or grandchildren without displaying any genuine interest in the experiences or stories of others. For instance, during one of our conversations, I opened up about a recent hospitalization due to an illness I was facing, but the dialogue quickly shifted to this individual's grandchild being accepted into a prestigious gifted education program. At that moment, I felt a wave of disappointment wash over me, as my concerns seemed to vanish into the background. Another common trait of these individuals is their penchant for bringing up negative topics. They often seem to derive a sense of satisfaction from discussing the misfortunes of others. A study by the Health Insurance Corporation has indicated that prolonged exposure to negative conversations can lead to a decrease in immune function and can triple the risk of developing depression. It is disheartening to observe how, in many gatherings, the conversations inevitably drift towards grim subjects, such as someone's diagnosis of cancer or struggles with dementia, resulting in an unintentional drain on my body and mind. Additionally, energy-draining individuals frequently show little regard for the feelings of others. This lack of consideration is particularly evident when they boast about their children's or grandchildren's achievements. For example, even when a friend is facing challenges, such as job searching or personal setbacks, these individuals may brag about their own child's employment with a large corporation, seemingly oblivious to how that might affect the feelings of those around them. As we age, it becomes increasingly clear that our mental and physical energy is limited. Therefore, it is crucial to make thoughtful decisions about whom we choose to share our precious energy with. Engaging in relationships that consistently drain our energy can lead not only to persistent fatigue but also to more severe health issues, including depression and insomnia. So, what steps can we take to safeguard our well-being? First and foremost, it is essential to be honest with ourselves about our feelings. If you find yourself feeling exhausted or emotionally burdened after attending a gathering, this may be a significant signal that should not be ignored. In such cases, it can be beneficial to create some distance from these energy-draining individuals and seek out the company of those who can reciprocate with positive energy and uplifting interactions. By prioritizing relationships that nourish and invigorate us, we can enhance our overall quality of life and maintain our emotional and mental health as we age. The fourth type of gathering is to avoid. As we progress in age, one particular type of gathering we should consciously choose to avoid is those that include individuals who lack dignity. The significance of dignity becomes increasingly pronounced in our later years, serving as a cornerstone of our interactions and relationships. Regrettably, there exist individuals who, despite having advanced in age, fail to uphold the essential qualities of dignity and respect. I recently came across a poignant story shared by 71-year-old Lee Eun-mi, who explained her decision to leave a club she had been actively involved with for over 10 years. At first, she perceived a fellow member as simply being straightforward. However, as time passed, she came to the unsettling realization that this individual was, in fact, quite rude and showed little regard for the feelings of others. A recent study conducted by the Korean Elderly Welfare Association underscores the prevalence of this issue among seniors, revealing that undignified conversations and behaviors rank as the third most common source of stress for older adults. Even more alarming is the discovery that such stress can contribute to serious health concerns, including elevated blood pressure and weakened immunity. The traits exhibited by individuals who lack dignity are glaringly apparent. Firstly, they tend to belittle or mock others in public settings, creating a toxic environment. At a recent gathering, for instance, one member cruelly ridiculed another for their modest attire in front of the entire group, leaving that individual feeling humiliated and exposed. Secondly, these individuals often prioritize their convenience above all else. They feel free to unilaterally change meeting times and consistently opt for locations that are most convenient for them, without regard for the preferences or circumstances of others. Moreover, they have a penchant for indiscriminately sharing private information about others. On one occasion, I had expressed a desire to keep my health condition confidential. However, this person callously disclosed it to others, showing a complete disregard for my privacy. This breach of trust can create an atmosphere of discomfort and distrust, making it difficult to communicate openly in the presence of such individuals. As I reflected on these experiences, I noticed that the negative behavior of one individual began to permeate other gatherings, leading to an environment where it became increasingly challenging to voice thoughts or opinions in their presence. As we grow older, we are expected to cultivate wisdom and a sense of dignity, traits that enhance our relationships and social interactions. Yet, paradoxically, some individuals seem to regress into ignorance as they age, a phenomenon often associated with what is referred to as late-life syndrome. This syndrome suggests that as we age, our capacity for self-control can diminish, allowing previously suppressed emotions to surface more easily. The unfortunate reality is that such undignified behaviors can spoil the atmosphere of an entire gathering and jeopardize relationships that have been nurtured over many years. Initially, we might think to ourselves, they are older, so we should be understanding and let it slide. However, over time, the frequency and severity of such rude behavior tend to escalate, ultimately undermining the spirit of the gathering. As a result, members may gradually choose to withdraw, leading to the disintegration of a cherished gathering that may have lasted for decades. So, what course of action should we take? It is imperative to make the decisive choice to end gatherings with undignified individuals. This is not a selfish decision, but rather a prudent strategy aimed at safeguarding one's mental well-being. Instead, we should seek to spend our valuable time in the company of those who demonstrate respect and consideration for one another, enriching our lives and adding greater meaning to our later years. By prioritizing gatherings that foster dignity and mutual respect, we can create a supportive environment that truly enhances our experiences as we age. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. The 5th type of gathering we must avoid. As we navigate the journey of aging, one crucial type of gathering we must be wary of is the one where genuine communication becomes increasingly challenging due to an overwhelming number of participants. A poignant example of this is the experience of 73-year-old Choi Young-hee, who recalls how her once simple tea gatherings with a small group of 5 friends have morphed into a sprawling assembly of over 50 people. In the beginning, these intimate gatherings provided a wonderful opportunity to sip tea, stroll together, and truly listen to each other's stories and experiences. The atmosphere was one of warmth and authenticity, fostering deep connections and meaningful conversations. However, as time passed and more individuals joined the group, the dynamic shifted dramatically. What had begun as a cherished ritual of camaraderie and connection soon devolved into a chaotic environment. The essence of these meetings changed, and the once genuine exchanges of heartfelt stories gave way to superficial interactions. With so many voices vying for attention, it became increasingly difficult to engage in serious discussions as we once had. Instead of diving deep into each other's lives, the gatherings felt like a whirlwind of fragmented conversations, with everyone circling topics without truly connecting. In larger gatherings, several issues inevitably arise that can detract from the quality of our interactions. To begin with, the very nature of communication deteriorates as the size of the group expands. Conversations often reduce to little more than casual greetings or small talk, leaving little room for meaningful dialogue that fosters real understanding and connection. In the current setup, some members chatter on one side while others engage in discussions on the other, resulting in crucial topics being overlooked entirely. Furthermore, as the number of attendees increases, so too do the rules and obligations that come with managing such a gathering. At some point, we found ourselves electing a president, collecting fees, and mandating participation in various volunteer activities. What was once a relaxed and informal atmosphere morphed into a structured environment with expectations and responsibilities, stifling the very spirit that had made these meetings enjoyable. As the gathering continues to grow, the likelihood of factions forming increases, introducing an air of tension and wariness among members. What used to be a united group now often divides into competing sides, creating an uncomfortable atmosphere that hinders open communication. Disputes have even arisen over the election of leadership positions, further complicating the relationships within the group. Experts emphasize that as gatherings expand, the complexity of human relationships tends to increase, which can lead to heightened stress levels. This complexity can be particularly burdensome for our mental health as we age. Additionally, financial burdens often accompany larger groups. With more members, the fees escalate, and the costs associated with events accumulate, resulting in significant monthly expenses. Group outings and participation fees for volunteer activities further compound this financial strain, leading many individuals to feel economically pressured. For those of us on fixed incomes, such expenses can become overwhelming. So, what can we do to navigate this landscape more effectively? Experts suggest that as we grow older, it is vital to cultivate deeper relationships with a select few true friends. Sharing authentic connections in smaller gatherings is not only better for our mental health, but also significantly enhances our overall quality of life. Above all, it is crucial to preserve the essence of these gatherings, ensuring that the sincerity and warmth we once enjoyed remain intact. Sometimes, this may require the courage to let go of larger groups and return to the intimacy of smaller circles, where genuine connection thrives and our spirits can truly flourish. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. The 6th type of gathering is to avoid. As we navigate the journey of aging, one type of gathering we should be especially cautious about is those that impose unnecessary expenses on us. It's important to understand that when something is labeled free, there's often a hidden catch. For example, I once came across an enticing offer that seemed like a free trip to a hot spring. I was thrilled at the prospect, only to later realize that this seemingly generous opportunity was nothing more than a well-disguised trap. On the way back from the trip, I found myself cornered into purchasing a health product that set me back a staggering 2 million won. This cautionary tale echoes the experiences of many seniors, such as 76-year-old Kim Jong-hee, who recently suffered significant financial losses due to a senior group trip that was presented as an innocent outing. Statistics reveal a concerning trend. Last year alone, the amount of fraud targeting seniors exceeded an alarming 70 billion won. These financial damages often arise from gatherings that are deceptively marketed as free or silent events. The tactics employed by scammers have become increasingly sophisticated, making it essential for seniors to remain vigilant. One common method is the promotion of gatherings that promise free health checkups. These events advertise complimentary tests for blood pressure and diabetes, which might initially sound beneficial. However, the real agenda becomes clear immediately after the tests, when attendees are subjected to aggressive sales tactics pressuring them to purchase medical devices costing millions of won. Another alarming tactic involves events misleadingly labeled as filial piety tours. These gatherings tout the allure of a free trip to Jeju Island, complete with delicious meals, a proposition that many would find hard to resist. Yet, what begins as a pleasant getaway often turns into a coerced shopping spree, as participants are suddenly whisked away to promotional events, leaving them with a hefty bill for health products that can easily amount to 1.5 million won charged to their credit cards. The third deceptive method involves gatherings masquerading as religious or volunteer events. While they may initially present themselves as opportunities for community service, these events can quickly pivot to discussions about donations. Participants may later discover that they've unwittingly become victims of a scam, having been manipulated into making unplanned financial commitments. Such gatherings lure unsuspecting seniors under the alluring facades of free offerings and friendship. The consequences of falling victim to these schemes can be devastating, with significant implications for retirement funds that many have worked hard to accumulate. Victims often struggle to recover from such financial blows, especially when they have signed contracts that may be non-refundable, leading to the potential loss of their entire retirement savings. So, what can we do to protect ourselves in these situations? Experts offer several crucial pieces of advice. First and foremost, approach any gathering that uses the word free with skepticism. Secondly, firmly refuse to attend gatherings that require you to make purchases. Thirdly, never agree to participate in gatherings that pressure you into making immediate decisions. Lastly, It's wise to consult with family or friends before making any significant financial decisions. The most vital practice is to cultivate the habit of saying no. A simple statement like, "I need to think about it and will decide later," is more than adequate. Avoid the trap of making decisions on the spot. Remember, your retirement funds are the result of a lifetime of hard work and sacrifice. Protecting them is about more than just financial security. It's about safeguarding your quality of life. In our golden years, we are no longer obligated to attend gatherings out of duty or external pressure. This is a time for making wise and informed choices that serve our best interests. In our younger days, we might have been overly concerned with how our decisions would be perceived by others, but now it's essential to prioritize our own needs and well-being. True wisdom comes from making choices that benefit us, enhancing our lives rather than detracting from them. While good gatherings can enrich our later years, negative experiences can detract from the joy we should be experiencing in this stage of life. Sometimes it takes real courage to say no, but doing so is one of the wisest steps you can take to protect your financial and emotional well-being. Thank you for watching. Reflecting on the gatherings we choose to attend, what have you learned from today's video? Take a moment to think about one insight that resonated with you and how you might apply it in your life. We'd love to hear from you, so please share one takeaway in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comments, like, share, and subscribe to our channel to stay connected with more content like this. Here's to making wise choices that lead to happier, more fulfilling years ahead. Thank you for being here.